Hello and welcome, it's Jack here from Gingerbets and welcome to the Gingerbets Golf Betting Insights weekly YouTube show. This week I'm previewing the Memorial Tournament taking place at Muirfield Village, otherwise known as Jack Nicklaus's place. This is the great place that Jack designed and it's going to make for some fantastic viewing this week. In this video, if you're new to Gingerbets, let me tell you what's coming your way. I'm going to be breaking down the course, looking at the key skill sets that are required to lift that trophy come Sunday evening, and I'm bringing you my best 4 outright selections, and all this is coming your way in the next 8 minutes, so stay tuned for that. But before I get into this week's video, may I have a quick recap on last week and also point you towards the weekly newsletter that is available direct to your inbox each and every week. This is a detailed newsletter that breaks down the course, the key skill sets that we're going to touch upon today, but in far more detail. There's also a stats pack which helps you with your own research, and then we look at the outsiders to consider, something we don't touch upon this video. And last week we had Patrick Reed get a place payout. He was an outsider to consider, 80 to 1. Thank you for all the kind messages, and for those of you that did happen to get him, some with Boyle Sports at 10 places, others with 8 places for a partial payout. But that is the advantage of signing up to the newsletter. There's so much more information in there to help you with your golf betting each and every week. It's sure to save you time, sure to make you more informed, and sure to give you an edge over the bookmakers. But on to this week, and it is Muirfield Village that's hosting the players this week. It is a standard par 72 test, 4 par 5s, 4 par 3s, and the rest made up of challenging par 4s. The course has gone through a redesign in recent years. In 2020, after the tournament, the course was completely stripped apart. All of the greens were relaid, all of the surrounding areas around the greens resurfaced as well. And we have a very much a different golf course, one that still challenges the players with every aspect of their game, but especially on approach play. The fairways have been widened. They were generous in general already. One of some of the easiest fairways to hit on tour, but that is about the only place that this course gets easy. So next up, we're going to look at the key skill sets that are required. And I encourage you, if you enjoy this section, sign up to the newsletter, because there's so much more information there that you can digest in your own time that will help you find more winners and find better prices and better selections, whether that be for your outrights or your DraftKings lineups. But this is the key skill set, so let's look at them. I've got 5 of them, and it starts off with tee to green performance. You can't fake it round this golf course. Every single part of your game needs to be on song, and therefore the foundation, as it is most weeks, will start with tee to green performance. Next up, though, I'm going to go straight to that iron play, and we're going to look at greening regulations gained and strokes gained approach as 2 points that I want to look at next. Quite frankly, this is a second shot golf course where approach play rises to the top of the leaderboard, and those that hit greening regulations with regularity also rise to the top of the leaderboard. 5 of the last 7 winners of this event have ranked in the top 5 for greening regulations on that week. So it's a real key stat. Greens here, hard to hit, ball repelled from the greens with these undulating surfaces, turned up greens, should I say, and therefore plenty of short games and chipping is required. And therefore I want to look at 2 parts. They are similar stats, but they are completely different. You'll often see players that are highly ranked in strokes gained around the green, but very low down the pecking order in scrambling. Well, I want to look at both parts this week, but I want to pay particular attention to scrambling. When looking at the data over the past 6 or 7 years at this course, scrambling is of key importance. This is where players miss the green in regulation and they were able to get up and down to save par. This is a real key requirement this week. So if doing your own research, I really encourage you to look at players that can scramble well. Certainly something I've done when making my selections this week. So they are my 5 key skill sets this week. It's tee to green performance, it's greening regulations gained, it's strokes gained approach, and then it's strokes gained around the green and scrambling. By default this week, players are going to miss 30% of the greens in regulations. Even the best players are going to miss 25%. That means that they're going to have to scramble really well if they want to win this tournament. So let's get into those outright selections. Well, headlining the portfolio this week is a player whose price really excites me. He's available at 40 to 1 with Bet365 in the UK, slightly less in the USA, but he's a player that came to prominence last week, should I say. He came into some decent form after having a week off through injury. He moves the ball both ways off the tee quite comfortably, but prefers a fade. But with iron in hand, he's very comfortable moving the ball both ways. He's an elite level iron player, but he's also a very underrated driver of the ball, and that will set him up really well this week. In terms of his short game, he's in the top 20 for strokes gained around the green and scrambling over the last 24 rounds on tour. And he's really came together last week in terms of off the tee, approach play and around the green. He ranked in the top 20, and I think that he's bubbling under the surface. Headlining the portfolio for me this week at 40-1 will be Sungjae Im. Second up is a player that doesn't make my portfolios often, but I think that he's been bubbling under the surface for recent weeks, and I think now is the time for him to come through ahead of a major championship test, which I think he can contend in. This will be a tournament that I believe he will want on his CV, and also one that he's capable of taking down. He drives the ball well. He's deceptively long off the tee for such a small person. His iron game's steady right now, if not exceptional. He's gaining over 1 stroke per round on the field. That's 1 stroke in approach play per round over the field. If he can continue to do that this week, then he's going to have an outstanding chance. He also has won 2 events on the bent grass putting surfaces that we face this week. Second selection, available at 22-1. XANDER Schauffele will be the second selection of the week. Third up, a man from Europe whose iron game should really suit this test. He was third here on debut, and I believe that this is the tournament that he can definitely win. Much like a player that he came out of college with, Collin Morikawa, who's won this event and finished in the top 5 on another occasion. I believe that this player can go 2 places better for sure. This is a second shot golf course, as of many Nicklaus courses are, and that is where he stands out. Third in approach play over the last 36 rounds on tour, first in proximity to the hole, and from the distance 175 yards to 200 yards, where there is a high percentage of shots this week, he ranks first for proximity to the hole there. His short game isn't the best, but if he can continue to hit greens in regulation, if he finishes in the top 3 for approach play this week, his short game won't be needed that much. And at 25-1, I think this course is built for VIKTOR HOVLAND. He will be the third selection of the week. And last but not least, Captain America himself, another man returning to form. A real steady performance last week, a top 10 at the Charles Schwab, where he gained strokes across the whole of the key skill sets that are required. That's off the tee, approach play, around the green, and with the flat stick in hand. He's got 3 top 10s here previously from 7 visits. That's something that shows that he has a liking for this course. He's also a player that wears a green jacket, and that is something that is important here. This course correlates quite well with Augusta National, Innsbruck, TPC, Twin Cities, to name just a few, but it's Augusta that really interests me, with these fast, really fast greens, tight runoff areas where players have to chip and get up and down from. He's excelled at Augusta. He's excelled here in the past without getting victory. With a return to form, with the US Open looming, another event that I think he's got a chance of winning. Patrick Reed, 45-1, available in the USA, 55 and 60-1 in the UK, will be the 4th and final selection of the week. Thank you very much for listening. If you enjoyed this content, can I encourage you to do a few things, and a massive favour if you can like and subscribe to the channel, but most of all subscribe. If you've been watching these videos, about 50% of you aren't subscribed. I'd love to get the numbers up, so please like and subscribe, and also sign up for the weekly newsletter. All the details are in the box below. It will only take you 1 minute, and it's one well-informed newsletter direct to your inbox that's sure to save you time, sure to make you more informed, and sure to give you an edge over the bookmakers. It'll also help you with your own selections each and every week on the PGA Tour. What's not to like about that? So get into the detail box below and sign up to the weekly newsletter. Thanks for listening, and bye from me.